Today's vlog is called Living the Dream. So, are we? Well, I think it obviously depends what your dream is. But, you know, I'm going to talk about things that we've already done, things that we want to do, maybe things that we might have done differently. Some of this was filmed yesterday out on the canal bank, so I just ask you to bear with me that there might be a bit of wind noise. I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you'll still be able to hear what I'm saying. So we've been living on birdsong for 6 weeks now, and it's been a fairly steep learning curve, but that's okay. We're getting there, I think. So things that we've done while we've had birdsong: we've sorted out the storage, as you saw on last week's vlog. Got all the IKEA units put together. We've ordered 2 new sofa beds from Sofa Bed Barn, hoping they'll be with us in a couple of weeks. They've also got storage under, so that'll be quite useful. We've put racks up and things again for storage, which is all good. Neil's learned how to do all the engine checks, checking the belts and all that sort of thing. We furnished ourselves with a shoreline power hookup, because it seems that although all the systems were on board, previous owners had taken the hookup with them, so there was no galvanic isolator fitted either, so we bought an inline one that just plugs in. You don't have to wire it, so that's really useful. And it's actually inside the engine room, not outside on the hookup, so there's no danger of that going walkabout. We also had to buy a key for the water and diesel openings, because that also was missing, making it quite difficult to do anything. I think we've also made a decision on toilets. Subject close to every boater's heart, toilets. Before we got birdsong, we looked at lots of options, and we decided that probably the one for us would be a composting toilet. But we've lived with the cassette for 6 weeks now, and actually at the minute we're quite happy with that, so we're going to stick with that for a while. We may get a new one because it's quite an old one, but I think we're going to stick with that and see how we get on with it. Another thing that we've had to sort of get around is clothes washing, and on a day like this, it's brilliant. I've got one of those little twin tubs. You just put your washing through that's great. And getting it dry, I've bought what they call a brolly mate, which is like an attachment that goes onto your tiller arm, and you can put in a rotary dryer on top of that, so that's brilliant. I think the problem will come, and we've already had a couple of wash days like that, where you can't hang it out, so it's just hanging on airers in the shower and stuff. But you know, that's okay, and occasionally we've lit the fire and put it in front of there, so that's great. So I'm actually out now on our usual dog walk, so if I flip the camera around, instead of having to look at my mug, you'll be able to see where we walk each evening. So this is opposite our marina. You can just see all the boat's moored up down there, and see into the marina. It's a lovely walk, and as you can see, it's a stunning evening. So there are still several things we want to have done on the boat. Some are longer term, some we need to get done immediately, and I've actually got somebody coming to look in the next couple of days at fitting a bilge pump, because bizarrely when we moved on board, although we haven't had a problem, we want to make sure that we don't have one. And when we moved on board, there was in the engine room a switch that said bilge pump. There is no bilge pump attached to it, so I've got somebody coming to look and fit one of those. And also we need an immersion heater on the calorifier, because at the minute we're relying on our engine for hot water, and while that's fine, it's a little inconvenient having to start the engine every night. Seeing as we're on shore power, we could just have an immersion heater. So we've got somebody coming to look at that. Hopefully that'll get done pretty soon. We've also bought a lot of paint, because although lots of people say, oh, don't paint the wood on the inside of your boat, it'll spoil it and you'll regret it, it's our home and that's what we want to do. So we bought the paint, and that will be one of our next jobs really. So it's all sort of settling in quite nicely. We're loving the area where we're living. As you can see, lots and lots of nice places to take the dog. That's the entrance to our marina, so we're just in there. And I'm sure there'll be lots more to learn as we go, lots more things we want to do, and I'll keep you updated on that. One thing I didn't mention that's come as a surprise, I suppose, is how much data we were using accessing the internet when we lived in a house. We've now got a little MiFi box, and we've got mobile phones that have got, you know, reasonable data allowance on, but we're currently limited to about 70 gigabytes of data on the various devices, and it's quite easy to use that up. So we have changed our habits. We're not doing as much as we did, we're not using as much data as we were, so you know, that's working quite well. But it is something to bear in mind if you're going to do this, if you're going to change your lifestyle and live on a narrowboat, to check how much data you're actually using currently, and how much you think you're gonna need, and look for the best deals for that. So as I said, we've already done a few things. There are a few more things that we're wanting to do, and we're currently in the process of getting prices for that. Longer term, we want to look at more solar panels. We've currently got one solar panel, 80 kilowatts I think it is. We also want a battery management system, because although we can see what the batteries are charging at, and you know what charge they currently have, that's all we can see. We can't really see what the solar's putting in, and things like that. So we want some sort of a battery management system. Probably looking next year for that now, because over the winter we're going to be mostly in the marina, and so on shore power, so it's not going to be such an issue, but for next year that's something we definitely want to look into. We also next year want to paint the boat on the outside. It won't need blacking, because last year it had a two-part epoxy coating put on for blacking, and during the survey we were told that was in really good condition, and it's, you know, it's not going to need doing for a few years yet, so we won't be having that done next year. But we do want to get the external parts of the boat painted, and possibly a colour change. We've not decided what colour we want yet, but we would like to do that. We're also looking at doing a course on diesel engines and maintenance and stuff, so if any of you have got any experience of that, I'd be really interested to hear what you thought of it, and if you thought it was something that was worthwhile to do, because neither of us really know much at all, other than what we've picked up from you know, reading the manuals and stuff, and watching videos and things on YouTube. So I would be interested in your experience of that. We're also going to see how we go with the twin tub washing machine and getting things dry and stuff over the winter. We may consider getting a washer dryer plumbed in for next year, but again, we'd have to be really careful on size, things like that, just to make sure it'll go through the doors, basically, because that is one of the restrictions of living on a narrowboat. You can only get certain size things onto the boat. And our heating is currently a wood burning stove, which we're very happy with. We've got one of those eco fans that goes on the top, and it's not really how do you keep your boat warm, it's how do you keep your boat cool, because it really does heat up when you light that stove. But obviously we've not had any really bad weather, so we'll see how we go over the winter. We may next year have to look at getting some radiators put in, maybe a back boiler or Everspatch or something like that, but we'll see how that goes. So obviously you know, future videos will cover sort of what we're doing on that sort of thing, and the other jobs on the boat and trips out and things like that. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you want to watch future videos, keep up with what we're doing, please do subscribe to the channel, and if you click the bell icon at the top, it'll let you know when there's any new video content available. As I say, I'm very interested in your comments on diesel engine maintenance and anything else I've talked about in the video today. I'd be interested in your views and your experience. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.